Our special transmission as U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris calls for an end to the Gaza war during her meeting with the Israeli Prime Minister. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. This is Muslim News Canada on Muslim Network TV. I'm Zahra Sayed. Today is the 295th day since Israel started its incessant attacks on Palestinians. In a fresh wave of airstrikes, Israeli fighter jets have targeted multiple locations, including Khan Yunis, the Outrage refugee camp, and Gaza City. The Palestinian Health Ministry reports at least 21 people have been killed in the attacks. The Nasser Medical Complex in Khan Yunis has received 18 bodies this morning. One civilian has been killed in the Nusayrat refugee camp. An Israeli raid in the Al Sahaba street has resulted in 2 casualties. An Israeli strike on the Al-Bina family home has killed 5 Palestinians. Israeli military forces have expanded their ground invasion in southern Khan Yunis. Reports show the military has fired live rounds at the ambulance. The Israeli army claims it has eliminated around 100 fighters in the offensive. There has been a heavy presence of Israeli forces at the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. The forces clashed with the worshippers. Hezbollah has targeted 2 Israeli military sites on the southern Lebanese border, achieving a direct hit. The death toll from Israeli attacks is alarming. At the time of writing, at least 39,175 Palestinians have been killed. A recent report published by the British medical journal The Lancet says the death toll could exceed 186,000. 90,403 have been injured. The International Court of Justice has ruled that Israel's occupation of Palestinian land is illegal. It has ordered the evacuation of settlements in the West Bank and East Jerusalem. Israel also stands accused of genocide at the International Court of Justice. The court's latest ruling has ordered Tel Aviv to immediately halt its military operations in Rafah. Vice President Kamala Harris has called for an immediate end to the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas. Harris's comments come following a meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Harris says while Israel has the right to self-defense, the manner of its actions is crucial. She says there is a need for a resolution that ensures Israeli security, releases all prisoners, alleviates Palestinian suffering, and supports Palestinian rights. Harris describes her discussion with Netanyahu as frank. She says she has pressed for a multi-stage plan to ease the conflict and improve conditions in Gaza. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has affirmed that Berlin will maintain its arms supply to Israel. Scholz strongly opposes the idea of boycotting Israeli goods. He is calling such demands repulsive. Germany has been accused of facilitating genocide against Palestinians through its military support to Israel. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's speech to the U.S. Congress has faced significant backlash for its misleading claims about the Gaza war. Netanyahu said that Israel has facilitated the entry of over 40,000 aid trucks into Gaza and is working to protect civilians. However, the United Nations reports 28,018 aid trucks have entered since October. Only 2,835 have arrived after Israeli forces seized the Rafah crossing in May. Netanyahu's claims of extensive efforts to protect civilians, including issuing evacuation warnings, have also been contested. Recent attacks like the bombing of Khan Yunis and reports of high civilian casualties contradict his statements. Netanyahu says Hamas committed the atrocities of beheading and raping the victims. Israeli and Western media reports and fact checks reveal that these claims are unsubstantiated. One infant, Mila Cohen, was killed on October 7th. Her death and other casualties were not caused by direct actions by Hamas militants. Instead, they were killed due to rocket attacks. Palestinian leader Mohammed Dahlan is reportedly emerging as a top choice for the U.S., Israeli, and Arab officials to lead Gaza post-war. Dahlan is based in the United Arab Emirates. He does not associate with any one of the 2 major political factions in Palestine, Hamas and Fatah. Media reports suggest that an option is being discussed to involve Dahlan overseeing a Palestinian security force working with international forces. The security force will have 2,500 individuals. Recently released files show Israel had previously offered Mohammed Dahlan control of Gaza in 2002. At the time, Dahlan was working as a Palestinian Authority's security chief in Gaza. He declined the offer due to his loyalty to then-leader Yasser Arafat. Dahlan maintains that he will not take any role without the Palestinian national consensus. He insists on rebuilding the Palestinian political system and establishing an independent state with Jerusalem as its capital. In 2006, Dahlan was elected as Palestinian Legislative Council representative for Khan Yunis. He was elected to the Fatah Party's Central Committee in 2009. 2 years later, he was expelled from Fatah after a bitter row with the president, Mahmoud Abbas. He has lived in exile in UAE since then. Adidas has issued an apology to Palestinian-American model Bella Hadid after pulling her from its recent shoe campaign. The campaign is inspired by the 1972 Munich Olympics. During the Munich Olympics, 11 Israeli athletes were killed by Palestinian militant group. Pro-Israeli groups and the Israeli government linked Hadid's role to the tragic events of that year. Adidas describes the decision as an unintentional mistake. It has vowed to revise the campaign. The company has removed her photos from social media while keeping those of other campaign figures. Reports have been surfacing that Hadid might sue the company. However, Adidas has apologized for any distress caused. Hadid is a vocal advocate for Palestine. She has faced threats for supporting the Palestinian cause, but remains steadfast in her stance. Free Palestinian activists are expressing outrage after Israel's flag bearer at the Olympics posted an image of a bomb bound for Gaza on social media. The now deleted post on social media platform X featured a bomb with Peter Palchik's name. It had the message, "From me to you, with pleasure." The message was accompanied by hashtags Israel at war. Palchik is a Ukrainian-born judo champion. He had previously sparked controversy in March when he and fellow Israeli athletes disrupted a free Palestinian protest in Tokyo. He was accused of inciting conflict. The Multifaith Center at the University of Victoria, British Columbia, has resumed Muslim prayers. The disruption occurred earlier this month when the Multifaith Center received 2 threatening notes. University Campus Security Director Jess McLean reported that the custodial staff found the notes on July 5th. Following the discovery, Friday prayers and 2 Islamic lectures were postponed for security reasons. The notes were written in English, Hebrew, and Arabic. They contained hate messages. They have been referred to Oak Bay Police and the Royal Canadian Mounted Police Hate Crime Unit for further investigation. No suspects have been identified. The university's administration has committed to enhancing safety measures and risk assessment for future. The North American Aerospace Defense Command intercepted 2 Russian Tu-95 Bear bombers and 2 Chinese H-6 bombers in Alaska on Wednesday. This marks the first time the 2 countries' bombers operated together in this manner. The aircrafts did not enter U.S. or Canadian airspace. They were not considered a threat by the Defense Command. China's Defense Ministry says the operation was part of a routine annual patrol aimed at enhancing military cooperation between Russia and China. Thank you for watching. Our news is produced by Muslim Network TV, which is a not-for-profit organization. We need your support for donations. Please scan the QR code on our broadcast or visit muslimnetwork.tv to donate now, so we can continue to amplify the voices of Muslims in Canada and abroad. Assalamu alaikum.